and welcome to our fourth episode of our DCTUK podcast pod, which stands for People of DCTUK. Today I'm here with Asuquo. Hello, Asuquo.
Hello, Sophie.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. So, first of all, tell me a little bit about you. Who are you, Asuquo?
Where do you want me to start?
It's right at the beginning.
All right. Yeah, Asuquo is my name. I lived in London for so many years. Working from one company to the other. The last work I did was with the local council, Barking and Dagenham Council, running a project for them, which was hate crime project. And that really was very successful. And that project led me to being invited to the House of Commons and the House of Lords to do some presentation on hate crime. And one of the highlights was working with a team that stopped the policy of stop and search, and that was spearheaded by Boris Johnson, the Mayor of London.
That is amazing. Oh my gosh. So, wow, so much to unpack there. So, first of all, are you from London then?
I'm originally from Nigeria, moved to London so many years ago, and I've always lived in London and wanted to retire to a countryside, but here I am.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, we're currently in Wakefield, which is up in Yorkshire, as they call it around here. I'm from Lancashire, so I guess I can do that, I'm not sure. But, okay, so you were in London. So tell us a little bit more about the Stop and Search Act, because that, not a lot of people may know about that.
Yes, the police was using stop and search, obviously, to prevent crime. But it happens that it focuses more on people of the minority ethnic background. And if you're a person of color like me, going through London, you could be stopped and searched for maybe up to 5 times in a day, just going to work and back trying to make a living. That is how frustrating it was.
That is terrible.
It is.
Yeah, that is terrible. And I mean, congratulations to you that you stopped that happening, right? So you stopped that going forward?
Yeah, it wasn't independently. We worked as a team to look into that policy.
Yeah, no, that's great. And congratulations. I'm sure so many people are grateful for that. Because it takes one person to start something and then a team to make it happen. And yeah. Well done you. That's amazing.
Thank you.
So did you have a business when you were working and living in London?
I did one thing or the other, selling on Amazon and other platform, trying to get some extra income as I was having a family. Myself and my wife, we had a girl then. She's 11 now. So that didn't go quite well, and after we had our second child, a boy, we decided it is time to get out of London. Yeah, London's a funny one, isn't it? It's somewhere where I feel like you need to experience it and live there. Like I feel like everybody should do it. It's one of those things, but I feel like it's a time. I feel like once you've done it, you kind of want to remove yourself and maybe have a family somewhere else or buy somewhere else, because what you can buy in London versus what you can buy out of London size wise is crazy. It is.
It's I don't know how it's like daylight robbery, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Houses are so expensive in London, and since I moved up here, I've been able to speak to a few friends who have sold their house and used the proceeds to buy a house over here outright, and they are basically rent and mortgage free. So
wow,
it is interesting.
That's the dream, isn't it?
It is.
Wow, especially at the moment when everything's so expensive with the cost of living crisis, and bet you're glad you don't live in London at the moment with that. Because
I'm pleased every day.
It's kind of crazy. So I went into our local supermarket the other day and I bought a tin of coconut milk. Now I'd say they're normally about 95p. how much do you think a tin of coconut milk was in central London in one of those small supermarkets?
It's gonna be possibly £2 or so.
£2.90 Asuquo.
Wow.
How crazy is that?
Crazy.
It's like, I don't want to curry that much. It was so crazy. So yeah, I bet you're glad you kind of live a little bit more out of London and up north. Are you enjoying being up north?
Definitely. I'm thinking, why didn't I do this earlier? Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have done it sooner than later.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about growing up then.
As I said, I grew up in Nigeria. A family of 9. My parents were quite busy.
Yeah, I bet they were.
Yeah. I'm the last of 9. I studied in Nigeria, had my first degree in Nigeria, and moved to this country. Growing up in the midst of a large family, and being the last, it has its own merits and challenges. One of them was when I lost my father at a very young age of 11.
I'm sorry about that.
And having to depend on my elder brothers and sisters, and all of them always assuming that the other person is kind of supporting me, making that assumptions, and I end up not having enough to go by. And that made me to be very focused and dedicated to pursue my education. And even when I was in the university, I was doing one business or the other, trying to make some extra income. And that is why I'm very passionate about business. I love it. And I thought, at this age, I don't want to work for anybody. I just want to pursue my business endeavor and become an entrepreneur. That is where I am right now.
I feel like you really want to be self-sufficient, don't you? And not have to rely on anyone else. Yeah, that's really, really cool. So what age did you come to the UK?
I was 29.
Okay.
Yeah, when I came to the UK. And it has been challenging being from a minority ethnic background.
Yeah.
And trying to fit in, and also challenge myself to be successful just like every other person.
Yeah. Well, you seem to be doing very well. So we kind of spoke
you.
a little bit earlier, but you had a business, didn't you, before you have the business now? So tell me about your first business and how that came about.
Yes. When we moved out of London, we sold our property and decided, all right, let's put that money into a business endeavor. And I researched so many business, hundreds of them, came to choose a dry cleaning business. And the reason I went for that is that this elderly couple, they have been having the business for so many years. It was established in 1975.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a long time ago. Not that long,
but when I was born.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they wanted to close it down because it wasn't making any profit.
Okay.
But when I studied it, I saw where they were wasting money and how I could restructure the business and bring it to profit. And I relied on the fact that people will always need dry cleaning because they use suits to work and all that. And that is me thinking of London. But
that's so true.
Yes, but it wasn't the case. In Yorkshire, it's more laid back, and not many people have that kind of jobs. I succeeded in restructuring the business, closing some of the branches, and moving the business to agents and giving them commission. And it kind of picked up until when we had COVID.
Oh, no.
That really brought it to a natural death. So just had to close that down.
Yeah, because I imagine that people weren't using, well, when people couldn't go outside, you couldn't go to dry cleaners, right?
That's very true.
And do you think dry cleaning is a luxury, or do you think it's something that everybody uses?
It's not everybody that uses it. It's something people go for on occasions like weddings,
Yeah.
parties. They have a need to go for an occasion, then they bring their suit, which they may have used 5 years ago and chucked it away. It is not something people need on a day-to-day basis, except you're quite posh and you have a lot of money.
I love that.
Yeah. So it just wasn't sustainable to carry on with it.
So this is kind of for me, but when I imagine something going to be dry cleaned and it says you can't machine wash it, what on earth are you doing in there? Like, how do you, if I gave you a dress to dry clean, what does that even mean?
It means that we will process that dress. It is not immersed in water like the normal laundry machine.
Yeah.
But dry cleaning machine works exactly the same process like a laundry machine, but we use chemical to wash it instead of water.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so it comes out looking crisp, clean, and kills all the germs, really. And some suits could be quite greasy. It's excellent in removing grease and oils from our body.
And is it like a washing machine that it goes into? But it's instead of washing it with water, it's chemicals.
Yes, but it is quite huge machines. It is highly computerized. You just put it, press a button, it does all it does, and it comes out clean. We just have to steam it and finish it off with different finishing machines.
That is so interesting. I have actually really learned, because I was always thinking, what on earth are they doing in there?
Yeah.
Like, how are you getting those things clean? So that's really interesting. Thank you for that. That was literally just for me and my, I'm just always wanting to know things. So now COVID hit. What happened after that? So you closed the business.
Yeah.
What was the next stage for you?
It was quite a huge operation. We had over 25 employees, and we had 2 vans that go twice a day to collect from agents and bring them back. So we were always busy, steaming hot, you could imagine. When that happened, COVID, we couldn't operate anymore. And when it opened up, I tried again to introduce other businesses, other sector like laundry, household laundry. You can just put all your clothes in a basket, bring it in, we'll wash it, dry, iron, fold, and it's ready for your wardrobe. But it's a change of lifestyle. People are not quite used to that yet, so it would take a lot of money and commitment to make it fly. So I had to close the business down, unfortunately. And as I told you earlier, I'm quite passionate about business, and I was thinking, what do I do next? Should I go and be a cleaner in the factory or what? No, that wasn't an option. So I thought about another business and adventure, and my caring nature combined with passion for business, the natural other option for me was the care sector, because I have noticed the demand in that sector. And apart from that, when COVID hit, that sector was still there.
Yeah.
And even the demand was higher.
Yeah.
So it makes business sense to go into that sector. And when I did my research into it, I was able to select a franchise organization that stands for my kind of perspective in life, to deliver quality care to these elderly ones who have served the country for many years, and now they are not able to take care of themselves. Somebody has to be there for them. And the franchise company that we chose to operate with hold those ideals, and that is why we went with them.
That's amazing. And I love how you kind of took aspects of your personality, like your caring side and your business side, and you literally put them together and thought, I'm going to go into the care sector. And you're right, it's an interesting way to look at business when you look at COVID and you think, who profited? So anti-bac people that make it, people that make toilet paper, God, I bet they were rolling in the money, gosh. And then the care sector, because it was something that they really needed. So did you do research into how they kind of dealt with it, COVID, you know, with the way they dealt with the care homes and the PPE, or did you kind of go in with a clean slate and think, I'm going to run this business the way I want to run it?
Yes, when we talk of care sector, there are two major sector, which is having a residential home. And during COVID, the experience that these ones had wasn't quite good because the home was shut down. They couldn't see their family members.
Oh, no.
And people were really frustrated. Imagine not being able to see your elderly parents to find out how they are doing, how they are coping. I couldn't deal with all that. So the other side of it is the home care, where we actually go into their home, draw out a care plan according to their requirements. They don't have to wake up at 7 a.m. because every other person is waking up at that time.
Yeah.
So it is quite personalized to their requirements. And I love that because you don't have to give away your independence.
Yeah.
You can still be functional in your own home. That is why we chose the home care as a sector to invest in.
So are you going to have care homes, buildings where people are? Or are you just going to focus on the home side of it?
It is the home side of it, providing care in the homes of these elderly people who want to remain in their own home because they worked hard to make a home for themselves. So why move away to somewhere else? So we will be focusing on home care.
And it also gives them so much more independence, doesn't it? It means that they can be in their home, still use their things, have their clothes in their wardrobe, watch their own TV and know where they're going like outside, rather than, I mean, obviously neither of us are at the age where we're going into a care home yet, but I imagine it's quite a frightening thing for someone who's elderly, because one of those places where you go and you don't necessarily come out again. I know that is very grim, but it also is the reality, right? So the fact that kind of ultimatum isn't there, it's not like, oh, you go in there, you're not going to come out. You can stay in your home, people can come to you, and maybe you can build a rapport with your carer. So have you got carers kind of ready and waiting to work for you?
We do have carers at the moment. It is taking such a long time to find suitable carers.
Yeah.
To really get the kind of business we want to run, where we provide quality care. It comes with having quality carers, those that are passionate about what they do, not because they just want a sector they can easily get in and get the money. No, we want to retain people that are passionate about their role and want to care for these elderly ones, those that are maybe disabled, they can't take care of themselves, those that will empower them to be able to function in their own space. Yeah. So it's been challenging. I was listening to the news the other day, and it says that the sector has 300,000 jobs in this sector waiting to be filled. So it is a challenge to fill those roles.
That is so many roles that aren't filled.
Yeah.
That is a lot. And when it's
is a
such a needed service, because we're always going to have elderly people and we're always going to have people that need that help. Do you think there's like a flaw in the way that people are being recruited into this business?
When you're desperate for somebody to come and work for your organization, sometimes people will be tempted to just hire anyone.
Yeah.
And you hear of situations where carers are not really providing the care that the clients need. And it is frightening to even think of it. So it is important to have quality carers because you're sending these ones into people's homes.
Yeah.
That is their private space. So we go through a very stringent recruitment process and ensure that those ones we recruit are vetted and there are people we can rely on to deliver the service we set out to provide.
Do you find that you have a certain age range of people that are caring?
Yes, the young people, they want to get into this sector. You don't have a lot of elderly ones. I'm just talking from the little experience I've got trying to recruit. There are so many people, say 70% of the applicants we have are from outside UK, people from other Asian country, African country. There are lots of them that really want to work, but unfortunately, we can't employ them because we rely on carers that are mobile, that have their own vehicle to be able to drive from A to B to provide the service.
Has Brexit affected?
Definitely.
All of this?
It makes it really worse for the sector because we had the European countries who come here and they're quite good as well. They're very hard-working people who want to make a living, to make their life better where they're from. But unfortunately, because of Brexit, that influx of workers are gone and we are now desperate for people to work in the sector.
That is just crazy, isn't it? And it's like, I don't know if you can put this in the podcast, so feel free to not, but maybe you can. It's these people that were being like, they take our jobs. And then we have these jobs and they don't want to do those jobs. No. It's all the jobs of like the picking the fruit and on the farms and working in the care sector and all the kind of labour intensive jobs that these people don't want to do anyway.
And these are vital services that gets this country going. Yeah. And without them, I'm just wondering, where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here? I'm sure a lot of people are saying that at the moment. Yeah. Crazy. So where are you at with the business? Like, what kind of position are you in the process of starting it, or are you kind of on your way with that, or?
Yeah, we registered the company, we set up the office, and we've been paying rent and other vital bills since April. Over 6 months now, we have not still recruited quality staff to run the company. Recruiting a registered manager has been a challenge. I'm talking about over 4 months challenge to find a qualified person.
Wow.
To send our registration to CQC to start operating. And we've been having so many calls from clients come to us that we are paralyzed, as it were, to take on those clients and start running. But fortunately, we've been able to recruit a quality employee to be at the head of the organization, who is quite experienced in that sector.
Yeah.
So we've put in our registration now, and we are waiting for it to come through, and we just can't wait to start.
Oh,
Yeah,
that is really exciting.
it is.
It's crazy to think that so many people want jobs at the moment. I feel like jobs are really hard to get at the moment, and yet it's just hard, isn't it? Like, it's
It
crazy that you
is.
can't find someone and yet so many people want work. But it's good that you've got high standards and you know what you want, because at the end of the day, they're going to be representing your business.
Yes.
So it's important that they fit the mold and they're right and they gel with you right. Because I always say that like 70% of hiring someone is, do you like them? Do you get on with them? Because you've got to work with them, right?
Yeah.
You can teach a job, but you can't teach personality.
That is very true. In fact, in the recruitment process, I had somebody that had a management degree, NVQ in management, who was very qualified for the role, but I couldn't employ him because of his attitude.
Oh dear.
His attitude was very wrong, and employing him is going to pass that kind of attitude to other employees that he manages. But I had this other lady who is very pleasant. Her attitude is very good, very passionate about the role, and she had this caring nature about her, and it was just a natural fit. We've employed her, and we've registered her on NVQ to upskill her to have that NVQ level 5 in management, which will further help her to be the main person spearheading the growth of the organization.
That's great. So you really want to take people on, and then you're helping them as well, because you're helping them get these qualifications. So you're really investing in your staff, which I think is such a huge thing. Like, staff will go, people will leave, jobs are aplenty, and if you're good at your job and you've got a good attitude, then you could go far.
Yeah.
It's about businesses retaining their staff by doing things like helping them grow with qualifications and stuff.
My objective running this company, this care company, is to cause these ripple effects in the sector. I'm that kind of person that I get bored easily doing one thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And the kind of organization we want to create is the type that recognize good employees and value them. We want to help them develop their career and make it a worthwhile endeavor for them, that this is a sector they can work and retain their job and make a career out of it.
Yeah.
So we will be recruiting carers, but we don't want them to just settle and become carers. We want to train and develop their skills, see where they are good at, and help them to develop and make a career out of this sector. And we will be gradually training them and promoting them to fill up the roles that we have in the office. If they are quite good in managing staff, we will be using them for that, rather than recruit outside and bring different characteristics that we don't really want in the organization.
So what does it mean when working for Blossom Home Care, Wakefield and Dewsbury?
Yeah, as I said before, we want to have a company that is very multicultural, which will cater for people from different backgrounds. We want to make a place that people will come and work and they love it because they are part of the organization, they are valued. We are also very driven, so we have created an employee value proposition that is set out to reward employees that are quite passionate about what they do. Like the registered manager that I employed, I am happy to give her £5,000 bonus every year.
Wow.
If she meets the target that we have. And other carers as well, they can win free holiday, all paid for by us.
Wow.
At the end of 3 years of dedicated service. And we have other bonuses, like £100 when you complete your probation.
So nice.
We have Star of the Week, Star of the Month, which comes with a cash prize as well. There are so many other benefits of working for Blossom Home Care, Wakefield and Dewsbury. We want to make this role carers to be valued because they are providing very vital services for this community, and we want to reward them accordingly. We can't do without them, really.
That is amazing. And do you know what? Your staff are very lucky to work for you, because I think as a manager and as an owner of a business, when you really invest in your staff, like I said before, but also treat them like the little £100 when they finish their probation. It's not loads of money for you, right? But it's so much to them. And as an employee to get that, that's just a wonderful thing. And a free holiday after 3 years. I mean, you have absolutely got it to a T. Is there anything you'd like to say to people who are listening to this that are thinking of maybe working in the care sector? Like, have you got any advice?
Yes, if you want to survive in the sector, it has to be something you love doing, because you're going in to take care of somebody, a human being. Some people they give their pets that luxury lifestyle. How much more humans? So you have to be passionate about the role. You want to help these elderly people live independent life, to be comfortable in their own home. So if you're not passionate about it, don't even bother, because you're not going to love it. And if you're passionate about it, this is a place to work in, because we will value what you bring to the organization, and we will reward you accordingly and give you the career that you deserve. And apart from that, if you want to upskill yourself, we are happy to enroll you on NVQ to any level that they want, and we will pay for them. If they want to go to the uni, we can pay for them. So this is a role that you can make a career out of.
Amazing. Thank you so much for chatting to me today. This has been really interesting and really insightful.
It's been a pleasure.
You enjoyed
chatting
it?
with you, Sophie. Yeah, definitely.
Good. I'm really pleased.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode 4 of the podcast. Stay tuned, and we've got episode 5 coming really soon.